Hi everyone, Benedict here. Just before we begin, I wanted to let you know, because of my book launch that's happened this week, I've actually made my first ever book free, so you can head to your local Amazon store now and grab your free copy of They Mostly Come Out at Night, and the link for that will be in the show notes. Guys, They Mostly Come Out at Night is the first ever trip I've taken into the setting of the Magpie King's Forest, and as the characters from my world start to bleed over into our Curse of Strahd campaign, this free book could be a great way for you to get in on the ground level with some of the elements from my world that's going to start to appear in the stories. Also, before we begin this episode, the last session that we recorded, I was experiencing some microphone difficulties, so it might be a wee bit difficult to hear me in comparison with other episodes, and for that I can only apologise, and we'll be back to normal in a couple of weeks. Okay, thank you very much.
Warning, the following may contain whistling kenders. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. On the road to the village of Vallaki, the group has decided to inspect a nearby windmill. However, as they approach it, the magpie Lord Talfarin set on fire yesterday reappears and turns into a very grumpy young man before them.
We all know not to trust, obviously, supernatural monsters in Ravenloft, right? So I think we're going into initiative to attack it.
Attack the windmill. You're going to joust?
Tilt.
Oh, God.
Terrible.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know how the rest of the party feel, but I mean, like, we have been, like, relatively scolded away from this objective. We could just carry on and look for happier climes.
No, should we not, like, talk to the speaking magpie creature that's just
listening to us right now?
Well, I don't know how you all like feel about talking birds, but I don't care for them. No.
I'm not a bird, you moron. I just happen to be able to turn into one. And I'm really supposed to stay in bird form when I'm tracking you guys, but for goodness sake, like, how am I supposed to track you if you're dead?
Why are you following us?
And he kind of rolls his eyes, and you can tell he's thinking about this. Right, there's only so much I'm really allowed to say. So, where there are people aware of you here, and I'm working for them to figure out, just to keep an eye on you and to keep people informed. But we'd rather you didn't die, because it kind of ends the story, really. And then I've got to find some other job that isn't particularly as interesting, but possibly less dangerous to my health. And he eyeballs Lord Talfarin in particular there when he says that last bit.
Fireball!
Fireball and I are well acquainted. Thank you.
I think that we should listen to the parrot. He seems like a very sanguine bird.
Wow, a parrot. Brilliant. Well done.
Parakeet?
Good. Yes, just keep digging. That's absolutely fine.
Some sort of dove?
All right, can someone shut him up, please? Is this a possibility?
We've tried.
We've
It's
tried
impossible.
so hard.
I only know 4 birds. Is he a duck?
It's considerably easier a few 100 feet above you, I will tell you that.
All right.
So if you can turn into a magpie,
That's it.
And
Well done.
back into
We've
a
got it.
person.
We're making progress.
does that make you like a were-magpie?
Wow. Give this guy an award, someone please. What a genius. That is one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. But let's go with it if it helps you.
Oh, he seems very aware. I mean, like, so an aware magpie makes sense to me.
Right. Still a magpie then. Good. That's good.
But then who are you working for?
That's a good
Are you
question.
working for Strahd?
He's not going to tell us. He already danced around it.
That's really funny. Listen, I can't tell you, okay? That much is clear. However, there are people who would like to speak to you. So, if you would heed my warning about this den of evil right behind me, and instead make your way to Vallaki and the Blue Water Inn, I have been told to tell you this. Seek ye out the Magpie King.
Okay.
Are you the Magpie King?
Okay, that's almost as bad as the parakeet. No.
I don't know. You look very kingly.
Okay. Have you met me?
You know,
Yes.
Lord, I shoot my cuffs and I sort of look at the others. I'm inclined to believe him. I don't think Strahd would accept such a chatty character in his employ.
He's not known for it. No.
Well, I sure. I mean, I'm on board with what the group think. He was a very unpleasant person, but yeah, he makes a lot of sense. It is a creepy looking windmill, and I don't feel any need to go and explore it.
Is it a wooden windmill?
It is. Yes.
And it's a den of evil.
Oh God.
Is this going where I think it's going, guys?
I lob a fireball over the right next to the magpie's head by like a foot, straight at the windmill, and just start incinerating it.
Okay, so the windmill's still quite a distance away. It's I think you're long further away than your 30 feet. And
my range is much more than 30 feet, actually.
Is it? How far is it?
Well,
let me check.
A moment of sanity. Like if it is like a hornet's nest, maybe we don't kick it.
That's a really good idea.
I think we just walk away. If it's filled with something, for example, that flies and eats faces.
My dear friend, the accepted way of dealing with a hornet's nest is with a fireball. That's what I'm doing here. Therefore, your example, in this case at least, seems to indicate I should continue.
No,
another fireball.
Oh, no. No more fireballs.
We're still about half a mile away from the windmill.
Masasuna, like, talk some sense to this man. He's trying to set the world on fire.
Fireball. Range 120 feet.
You'd have to walk a wee bit to get there.
No.
Well, what if... But seriously, actually, I turn to my companions and give you all a sober gaze and smooth down my walrus mustache. And I say, why should we leave a den of evil that forces a magpie squire out of his... supposed mission to just observe us behind us, when I can burn it to the ground and rid this land of yet another noxious source of perfidy from a comfortable, safe distance? You all can stay back, and if anything comes, we can jump on our horses and ride quickly away, leaving it badly singed, but at no danger to ourselves. I think there are no drawbacks, and if anything, we're bettering the land. And anything that's evil probably serves Strahd, right? So this is an opportunity to maybe take out one of his servants. I say we burn it down, structural fire style, and just get it done.
I say that all those who are opposed jump on their horses and ride away now, and he can catch us up.
For once, I like the bard's plan.
And I can play a little
The
song.
barbarian is against a little burning down of the buildings? What sort of barbarian are you?
I'm a little shaken by the women's clothing incident. I still haven't recovered.
Caught your stride. This could be an excellent opportunity to get back in form.
Masasuna, what do you say? Do we continue or do we burn?
Well, I think the whole point of us going towards the mill is that, if I can remember correctly, it's getting dark.
It's
and we're on the
late
road.
afternoon anyway, yes.
And we probably won't make it to Vallaki before nightfall. So what we were trying to do is find a
I can
safe
throw about
place.
400 fireballs in under a minute. The time is not an issue.
No, but the reason why we wanted to go to the mill was because we thought it might be a safe place to hide through the night. So that's, with the creepy encounter with Strahd on the street and all that kind of stuff. But if this turns out to be another Durst House incident, then maybe we should just back off and take up a lodging place in the woods again, which has served as well in the last night.
And
I
then
said we
whatever...
listen to the magic magpie. We listen to the magic magpie, and Continue on.
We were also advised by the prophecy of Madame Eva that we were to look out for a guardian dusted with snow. Perhaps this guardian is the one that the magpie says is the magpie king, who we should seek out, maybe?
Perhaps all magpies are crows dusted with snow.
Oh, my
poetic.
God.
Right, you take that back,
That's
right?
very-
Now. Take that back.
Talfrin just rolls his eyes and said, Are you a crow with an excess of dandruff? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Oh, my God. We're all going to die.
Right. I don't even know how to respond to that without going for your throat straight away.
Lord Talfrin shakes his head sorrowfully and looks dourly at everyone and says, I cannot believe that my true companions would pass up an opportunity to destroy a den of iniquity at no expense to ourselves. But this is a democracy. Is it a democracy?
I don't
Yes.
An oligarchy?
What is a
Representative.
democracy?
Let's take a vote. Is it democracy? Aye.
So I will turn my back upon this mill, and if it comes stalk us later, not the mill itself, but the people and the monsters inside it, and leads to our ruin and death, at least I will be able to experience a moment of schadenfreude as I gaze upon you all as we lie there dying with our throats torn out.
You're a very strange man. Okay, so I think we were all agreed we're going to listen to the nice bird and not go there.
Yes.
I throw one last petulant fireball, then I get on the horse.
Okay.
Right. I'm not particularly partial to the horses that you don't have, but I'm going to take
I
on.
like how he invented them. He was like, "Yeah, we have horses." I was like, "I'm going with it." I have a camel. You guys have llamas.
This is just very Monty Python. I've got a pair of coconuts. I'm just willing to improvise.
Right. Please, in the future, refrain from walking into instant death. Also from throwing fireballs at things that might actually be around.
I
to
can't
look out
promise
for
that.
you.
I
Yes.
cannot categorically promise
Yes,
that.
I will pass that on to whoever needs to know. All right.
Do you know what's in the mill, Mr. Magpie? Do you know what's in the mill?
There's a lot I'm really not supposed to say. I really wouldn't worry your head so that much. There are bigger problems in the valley.
That's comforting.
Yep. Right. Catch you later. And he kind of starts to fizzle up, and if you remember, it's not a smooth transformation. Like parts of him seem to crumple up a little bit, and like a bag that's having the air inhaled from it, and the feathers on his cloak start to sprout, and eventually sort of shrivels up into this magpie and sort of flies a couple of feet away from Lord Talfrin's face, gives one squawk, and then flies back up into the air again.
Reflexive fireball. Just like instinctive. Things come at my face.
I'm beginning to think he's a little incontinent. I mean, it's like
Ismark walks up to Lord Talfrin and he says, "Are we going to trust this thing? Do we trust this magpie man?"
Well, at very least, we should investigate his claims further. The crow covered in dandruff does accord with Madame Eva's prophecy. And I really do not think Strahd would tolerate such a servant. He would get himself killed within minutes by a dignified figure like that. So I think we might as well go into Vallaki and investigate this inn and see what we may discover. What say you all?
I agree. Like an inn means a show. Entertainment.
Yes. I see. Okay, are we happy to head on then? Back to the main road?
Not happy, but heading out.
Okay, so are we going to continue, guys?
On horseback.
So,
It's so...
is the as you continue, the road, if you recall, although it had been heading westward when you first left the mountains, it's heading north now. It's going to eventually meet with the eastern edge of the large lake in front of you. The sort of mountainous surroundings they become forested again as you descend, and as the sun begins to set further, the mists that are ever pervasive in this land rise up and start to obscure surroundings. You get an extreme sense of deja vu returning. It's almost reminding you of your first days in Barovia, and certainly gets to the stage where darkness is not far away.
So we should seek rest. And the question is where?
The Blue Water Inn.
Oh, you are nowhere near Valaki. Okay. The best.
Can I roll a?
Yep.
Can I roll a survival check to find a good defensive campsite?
Certainly.
Oh, that's a good idea.
This is a guy who spends most of his life in the library. Maybe someone else should roll.
Hey, I just may find like an orangutan nest made of books or something.
Did you roll?
Unfortunately, my kids have discovered my dying.
Oh,
They're
no.
disappearing.
Oh, no.
So I'm just searching here through what's left.
I just
someone
rolled
roll
for
it?
him and I rolled a 20.
Oh, okay.
Good for you.
So
We'll trust
I got
the
a
judgment of the barbarian.
14.
So
14.
Kellen, you
No, I really didn't roll a 20.
Okay.
I'd say we all roll. Let's roll.
Okay, let's
all just roll. Let's roll.
Oh, I did roll a 19.
Ooh.
Okay. So Kellen then, and in fact, Lord Talfrin with that roll as well. You both discover you step off to the western edge of the road, and you discover that somebody has clearly in the past made camp here before. You can find the remains of a campfire with a couple of large trees between you and the road in particular. Other than that, there's not really a lot going on in the area. There's no caves or there's no buildings or anything, but you reckon this site is going to be as good as any that you're going to be able to find. It certainly looks like somebody else has spent an unmolested night here, which is as good a sign as you could wish for.
Let's stay here.
I say we stay here, and maybe like the watch could like climb up the tree to have a higher visibility of the surrounding landscape.
Okay.
Sounds good.
In the mists?
What I really meant was I'm going to hide up a tree, and I'm going to use that as an excuse for protecting y'all.
Gotcha.
Okay. So who's going to take first watch?
I'll do that.
Okay. And anyone else? Is it? Sorry.
Should like two watches? Is that what you think? Like 2 watches, 2 on, 2 off, something like that.
Okay. It's really up to yourselves. It can be one at a time if you want.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to chinwag with my friend Kellen. Like we have so much to catch up on.
Okay. So Kellen and Jean taking first watch. Everyone else.
I'm being treated a lot differently ever since I swam and got my grime off me.
Nah, you're a friendly fellow now.
Okay. Are we?
I'll Master Sana, do you want to take second watch with me? We'll divide the night in two.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So Lord Talfrin burrows down to sleep the first part of the night.
Sure. Are you lighting a fire tonight?
I don't know. It seems like rather risky. Can we?
Fireball.
Oh God. So we're going to have a fire after all. But I will take the watch if you don't mind, Master McBag. Go up in the tree. Is that all right with you? Yes. So I'll be on a low branch with my legs hanging off near the fire, so I can enjoy the light and talk to you and watch the others sleep and scamper away if things go awry.
Are you going to climb a tree?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to take?
I will. I am.
Take an athletics check for me, please.
Is it like plus
It's your
acrobatics?
Strength. So athletics.
Athletics. We'll say 13.
13. Yeah, okay, actually. You managed to get... It's a bit hard going, but you managed to get about 10 feet off the ground. just a nearby pine. So you happy enough to perch up there? Kellen, what are you doing?
I'm not lighting a fire. Did we light a fire or no? I say we don't light a fire.
I agree with the man. It's our watch. No fire.
Although I would suggest, why don't we light a fire, say, 100 feet away?
Oh, that's a good idea.
And so if the Vistani come after us in the middle of the night, they'll go to the fire and we can run away.
Do we know anyone who can throw fire 100 feet?
I can throw continuously fireballs. They could range 120 feet in every direction.
Let's
sprinkler.
Let's
Like a sprinkler.
We don't want to be surrounded.
No.
They might not even approach them if they think we're an army.
It'll just burn down the whole forest.
With us in the middle of it. I don't know. That's not...
I think
I'm good
we
with
really
one.
need to sleep.
One fire. As a
Lord
distraction.
Tuffrin just grumbles and turns back over and goes back to sleep. His help is clearly not wanted here.
I think he's an arsonist, honestly.
So we have Jean in the tree, Kellen below the tree. Is that right?
Yes.
Below the tree,
And
yes.
are we going with the fire idea or not?
No fire,
No
because
fire.
we couldn't help get him to do it with us, and we're just going to skip it.
I can run, 100 feet away and light a fire.
You can? Well, let's see it.
All right.
Okay.
Do I need to roll something?
No. Just pile up a few twigs, light your fire,
Poof.
head back to Jean.
Yep.
That was incredible, sir. I didn't think you could do
Did I
it.
level up?
No. Guys, do you want to take perception checks for me?
Yes.
20. I really did roll a 20.
I really rolled a 6.
So, Jean, I think Jean is probably too distracted by just the novelty of being in a tree in the first place. So it's
Whee!
I think that's pretty much what's going on inside his
It's
head.
facing inwards, not outwards.
So, Karen, your word is you're just away from the road. You're aware there's no movement really on the road at all. Everyone else seems to settle down quite quickly. Irina seems to go to sleep basically as soon as her head hits the floor. She's been particularly tired today after practicing with Master Sonna the previous night.
I was going to say, particularly tired, like she's lost blood at some point and is now fainting.
No, she's knackered because she's not used to whacking things with a sword. So, Karen, you are aware though, as your watch goes on, of a particularly pungent odor.
His own?
It's not you, Kellen. Are you? Oh dear. Are you all right?
Okay, I'm alive. All right, something stinks.
Yeah, something stinks. And it's coming from the west, from deeper in the trees.
Kevin, what did you have for dinner? I'm
We eat a lot of beans in the land I come from.
Oh, Lord.
Does the smell seem to be getting stronger?
It is. And actually, as you keep looking for it, you are aware of movement out there in the dark.
Stop eating beans!
How can I perceive roughly?
Yeah, you're
How far away?
100 feet away. There's multiple somethings moving slowly, and you are fairly convinced they are coming towards you.
Wake them up! Wake them up! Wake everyone up! Do something!
I'm going to wake everyone up.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a foul wind coming our way, and it's not me.
For once.
Is it from the road?
Those trees
No.
over there.
No.
Oh, so it's
And
coming from the
as
forest.
everyone rises, Irina, she looks straight to Master Sonna and she says, "Hey, do you have it? Is there a weapon? Do I need to defend myself?"
I don't know. Better to be ready. Do you still have the dagger from Jean?
She reaches under the blanket that she was using as a pillow and she draws it out. And just as she does this, you hear a groaning coming from the west. And as that happens, 4 figures become visible because of the distant light from the fire that you guys have lit. Starting to, moving through the trees, and you can see 4 human-like figures staggering towards you. But there's something wrong with their faces there. The flesh on their faces seems to be rotting off. It's almost as if corpses are walking to attack you. So if you'd like to roll for initiative, please.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.